everybody, it's Annette with the Art of Intuition, and today we're going to talk about activations. What are activations of our intuition, which is really just the light of our soul, honestly. It's the way our soul talks to us. It talks to us through those whispers, whispers on the wind, is what I like to call them, the subtleness. And the more you in tune, really embrace that aspect of you, the more stronger it becomes. So it's not really whispers anymore. It's like loud bangs at the door that you start to notice more and more. So what are activations? Activations are places, people, and things. A lot of people don't see people as activations, but we are. Every time you interact with someone, you're activating their energy field. So everyone you interact with, you'd agree to interact with them at some point. I always tell people when they're talking to me, before we even started the conversation, we already had the whole conversation. Energetically, before I even sat down, before they even sat down. And they'd agreed to it. The words don't really matter. The activation's already taking place in your energy field. It's releasing different codes in your field for clearing, different things you need to clear. It's activating different aspects of yourself. So remember, you're a huge activation. So anywhere you take your energy, be as big energetically as you can be. And that doesn't mean be big egotistically as you can be. It's a big difference when you're big energetically. Big energetically, you're really soft and you don't have to say anything. A lot of times I go out and don't say anything at all to anybody, and it doesn't matter. You're just carrying your energy there. You're activating someone. And that's what's really important, is the activation. That's what you're looking for. How to activate someone else, and they're activating you. So you are a huge activation, and other people in your life are huge activations. You can even see what they're activating. Sometimes they're activating something to clear within you. Sometimes they're activating an aspect of you. So just be mindful of how you feel when certain people come around, or what happens after you meet certain people, how things start to twist or change in your life. That's a big one for me, so I can kind of figure out what people were activating. If something big happens after I meet someone, I know that was something that they were activating. They were activating those codes in myself, so then I could achieve a different reality. Places. A lot of times you're going to be attracted to certain places because they actually activate different codes in your body too. So a lot of people go to Florida a lot. Florida's a big, they'll say Atlantean activation. Anytime you're in the water, really near the water, you're getting a lot of Lemurian and active Atlantean activations. If you're into really knowing what the activation is. And sometimes you don't even have to care really what it's activating, and sometimes you'll know. Usually when you stop needing to know what you're doing or what the activation is, that's when you know. So anywhere you feel called to go, go. Because your body's ready for that next level of activation, no matter where it is. A lot of times when people start really waking up to the soul intuitive side of themselves, they'll move around a lot or travel around because they're looking for activations in all these different places. Egypt is another big one. When you're really doing your Egyptian aspect of yourself, you'll be called to Egypt, or sometimes you'll just want Egyptian things around you. Which brings me to the next point. Things are activations. Whatever you get obsessed about is an activation. And sometimes it can be people too, but with things, it doesn't even matter what it is. I was walking the other day, I was clearing something and went for a walk, and I found this ridiculous looking purple rock. But it just made me laugh because it was just the most weirdest thing to find. It was like one of the painted rocks. And I just understood that it was a massive activation for me. It was important. You know, it was a really important activation. It was just lightening things up. So it doesn't matter what activations just really open up your heart. And sometimes that brings up a lot of stuff we need to clear, but that's the point. So whatever opens up your heart is an activation. It doesn't really matter what it is. And it doesn't really matter how long it even activates you for. It might be a minute and that's done. It might be one person you meet once, and the next time you meet them, there's no activation anymore because the job was done. That was all I needed to do for you. Or every time you see these people or go to these places, you get to a different level of the activation. It's deeper. You know, we never go back, we just go deeper in, and we activate more and more stuff. So keep in mind what you're activating, and sometimes it'll bring up memories from a zillion years ago. I've been going through the weirdest General Hospital thing where I'm remembering stuff from when I was a kid watching General Hospital, the soap opera. Really dating myself, but I haven't remembered in years upon, probably 30 years. And I could tell you different storylines are coming to my mind, and it was crazy. So some of that's a massive activation for me, which is, I'm going to call it right now my General Hospital activation. Other parts of it is you're also clearing, you can also be activating that and clearing the Akash. Or there's so many Akashas, but clearing some level of an Akash, especially when you start getting these random memories from nowhere and you don't even know where they came from. You just start remembering things like what you fed your cat 40 years ago, or just, you'll know when it starts to happen, because these activations can be the most random things you've ever remembered, and you don't even know why you remember them. You can't remember what happened yesterday, but you can remember something that happened 35 years ago. It's a wild ride. Okay, everybody, a little bit on activations. Remember, you're a massive activation. What you hold, you activate in others. So the higher you get your consciousness, the more you can go out and activate other people to that level of consciousness, because you're going to activate them every time they see you, every time they get around you, and you don't have to speak. You can carry your energy everywhere, and you're activating people. It's not the words we say, it's how big we are energetically. Okay, everybody. I wish everyone the most amazing, fun activations, and keep practicing the art of intuition.